Welcome to Unbiased and on the Fence. I found my mute button there. I need glasses, I guess. Anyway, it is the first Power of 8 at 8 for this year. I want to welcome Eileen to the program. Eileen!
Happy New Year, Shane, and Happy New Year, everybody. Anybody in the room yet?
Oh, yeah, we've got people here that's been waiting. We were setting up technical stuff here.
We were doing my microphone. See?
Isn't it awesome?
I am so impressed with this microphone. I got to tell you, I left broadcasting over 20 years ago and they were nothing like this. And back then we would have like a $4,000 microphone. Like the company would give it to us. We wouldn't pay for it. This was $129. I got it at Target. It might've been cheaper somewhere else.
Yeah. So you can find the blue ones because they come in different colors, and the blue ones are the cheapest, and you can sometimes get them for like 79 bucks. But anybody that's you wanting to do YouTube, you're wanting to have a great sound and not break the bank, this is definitely the only real option for the quality you get. You know, it's the one I have. You guys like Scarab, his voice, it comes through nice and rich.
Ooh,
he's using a Yeti. You know, Lift the Valve, Nathan, he's using a Yeti.
Hey, we weren't supposed to tell anybody because then now they know your secret for your deep, dark, sexy voice.
Yeah.
When you do your meditations.
It's my secret. But yeah, I can get up close to it. And it's cool because you don't have to really get up on the mic. So it doesn't pick up the P's and the B's. And what do you call it? Semblance?
Sibilance. Sibilance. Isn't that a weird little word? Yeah, and I'm not popping too badly with sibilance because I'm not on top of the mic. It's like right here at my side. So all my P's and T's and S's are going at the screen. But I might need to buy a screen cover, a wind cover, a popping cover like you.
Yeah. If I didn't already know watch your P's and Q's, I would have thought that was referring to that. But that's your pints and quarts.
Yeah. Is it? It's not your pleases and thank yous. Watch your P's and Q's. No. Pints and quarts.
Yeah, it's like don't drink too much. Watch your pints and quarts.
I always thought it was pleases and thank yous, and it doesn't make any sense because what would Q be?
Right. Let's not get off on the Q topic. I'm just playing. So wonderful. We got a brand new year here. And
I know we missed a week, and it felt like forever, didn't it?
Yeah. Even though I was really busy, it seemed like forever. I haven't talked to you since last year, basically. So.
That's right. We have time traveled into the new year and into the new us. Have you done any resolutions? Yeah? You on any?
Yeah, smoking. I'm trying to cut down on that. But I'd started early on that. So.
Me too. I started my 40 days and 40 nights, which is going to go really well segueing into the topic you just threw at me, which is that getting your intentions to manifest quicker.
Yeah. And
I'd never seen the one that you showed me, but I'm doing one which is called 40 Days and 40 Nights, and we can share them both.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, manifestation.
Yeah, let me actually pull this up really fast so people watching this later can get to it. I will share my screen so you won't feel like you're in the dark. Let me see here.
Cool.
There, share. Okay. You can see that, right? Okay.
I can see it. I see the colors of the Play-Doh.
Okay.
Pack.
Do you see the Play-Doh, the spelling of it? How was it spelled before?
I don't know. Boy.
It doesn't look right how it is, but I don't remember what it was.
No.
It's a Mandela effect, though, for sure.
It doesn't look right, and I bought loads of this for my daughter back in the day. She's 18 now.
Well, I have to thank Joyce for bringing this to my attention. She's the one that's been doing my biofield tuning, with the tuning forks and stuff, and she had brought this up because she was going to come to Austin, but she couldn't make it. She goes, but hey, here's like an activity you can do. And it was just everybody was so busy doing things, and I never bought the Play-Doh. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to present it on the show because the people in Austin are probably watching anyway, and you have to it takes time, and I knew people wouldn't want to take whatever it is I think it recommends concentrating on it for like 3 hours or something like that. I was like, people aren't going to want to do that there probably. So it's something I can present on the show. But basically, it's using molding clay or Play-Doh to focus your intentions on making a change. And I won't read the whole article, but it's down below in the description box. But basically, you can just use, you know, Play-Doh, and you write down your desires or your wishes that you want to unfold in your life on a small piece of paper, like a 4-inch square piece of paper. And you focus on the words for about half an hour or so. And then you're going to roll up that piece of paper into a ball and put it inside a little ball of Play-Doh, about, you know, the size of a golf ball or a tennis ball or something. I would probably use half of a can or a whole can. I haven't done it yet, but something that fits in your hand comfortably. And then you're going to squeeze it. And it says do that for at least 3 hours. So it's, and you know, I like that because it's like you're using your creativity, your creative side of you to fill it in your hand, and it feels like, you know, it helps you to concentrate or focus on it, and you're kind of molding it. So it's like you're creating the reality you want on this, you know, that's on the piece of paper that's inside the clay, and you're basically gonna, you know, roll it around in your hands or just squeeze it for, what do they say, 3 hours, and then after 2 weeks or so, you should start seeing things manifest. So I've got this linked below, but that's basically the premise of it. And they've even got a story here of an example of someone who discovered it, and the IRS came to get them, and never came back again. So anyway, it's a cool story. I didn't want to take a lot of time on it, but I did want to let you guys know about it because I think this is a type of group that would really enjoy something like that. So.
I think that sounds super cool. I had to read it twice, because at the end of it, I thought, do you have to squeeze that for 3 hours a day? And then it says, squeeze it in one hand while you get on with your work, you know, whatever you're doing with your other hand. You can be writing, you can be doing stuff. And I thought, a day? And then you reread it, and it says you do it once. You only have to do it for 3 hours once. And then it doesn't say what to do with it. Throw it away, put it away.
Oh, I was going to ask you that. I'm like, what did it say to do with it? Throw it away?
It doesn't.
Doesn't say, because I was thinking it would say burn it, but you don't want to burn Play-Doh. So.
Exactly. And when you look at the sigil magic, that is often, we think, practiced by the ruling elites, they will write something a specific way, and then they will energize it. We energize things with meditation. And then they will hide it, burn it, throw it in a river, bury it. They will somehow get it out of the way. And then you're supposed to, like Abraham always says, let it go. Let the universe take care of it from then on. Don't worry it. Yeah. Don't worry it every day, because that slows down manifestation, because the worry is non-manifesting. And the universe might be manifesting it really quickly, but if you add a little worry about it every day, that slows it down. Yeah. So like, say that you really needed to make more money for your family, for support, for whatever, and you would write that down whatever way into the Play-Doh and squeeze it for 3 hours, really concentrating on exactly what you wanted. And then if you took the paper out and, I don't know, threw it away, I guess you're not supposed to throw it in the rubbish, because that's throwing your dreams away. So somehow you have to dispose of it. It just says
forget about it, I think, is how they word it.
Yeah. And then if you just forget about it, it comes to you. But if every day you worry, is it coming? Am I going to get enough money? Is it going to work? Yeah. The worry process drags it down and slows it down. And the forgetting about it lets it go so it can happen more quickly. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So forget about it. I guess just leave it as a ball in your dresser or something, or nightstand.
Yeah, put it somewhere nice. Maybe, you know, if you've got some crystals or something, or where your important stuff is, your jewelry, put it there. Yeah. Somewhere like honoring it.
For 2 weeks, and then it becomes actually a keepsake, I guess, that because, you know, you manifest it. So it worked, you know.
I've never heard of that, but I love it. I'm going to try it. I think we should all try it.
It's worth a try, you know.
Yeah, think of something that you really, really want, because 2 weeks is a really quick manifestation.
Oh, T. Taylor's saying she discusses how to do it with a medicine wheel, or is she talking about something else? Sometimes
cool. I'll go check out one of your videos and I'll look for it.
I'll read something and then realize they're not even talking about what we're talking about. So I'm not sure, but maybe.
Well,
Anyway.
the one that I started on December 17th is one that I've done before, so I know it works. And after we get our Mandela Effect book out to the public, January, February, my sister and I are going to put it into a small, inexpensive format on Amazon and Kindle, like super cheap on Kindle, so everybody can do it. And it's called 40 Days and 40 Nights. And it came to us via word of mouth decades and decades ago, and we've spread it word of mouth. There doesn't seem to be anything written down about it, but I do know the number 40 is pretty significant, isn't it? It shows up a lot in the Bible.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned the 40 thing, because at the place that I'd gone to do the chakra imaging, that guy in there, very knowledgeable guy, but you know, of course, they have all these books from all these religions and everything there, and because it's actually a bookstore. And he said the word that they translate 40 wasn't really a number. It was really a number that meant a lot. It wasn't really a specific number. It just meant a lot. So so once he said that, I'm like, that's why 40 pops up a lot. So they wandered the desert for many years. Is basically what it's saying.
40 years. And Jesus went into
the wilderness for many days, not really 40. So
40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah.
And what about the rain from Noah? Was there a 40 in there? Did it rain for 40 days for Noah?
I want to say that was like 100 and something days on that one. So I guess they could give specific days, but
interesting. So
maybe it was 40 days, and maybe it took 100 and something days for it to recede, or the whole thing to take place, or something. I can't remember now. That's a good point, though.
I did this decades and decades ago, and I was in Chicago. I think I was newly graduated, working for NPR as a cub reporter, they call it when you're brand new to the game. And I heard about it word of mouth through my sister, who was very much involved in sweat lodges and spiritual groups like that in Colorado. And I did it. And basically for 40 days and 40 nights, you're supposed to, a journal or a notebook, a cheap notebook from, you know, Office Max or wherever you get cheap notebooks for kids for school, or a nice, lovely journal, whatever you want to have, that you can write at least 40 pages in the morning and 40 pages at night. Try to keep it to one page, because if you go 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, you'll quit. Because by the time you get to the 20th day, you're like, oh my God, I can't write 5 pages. So we do always say, try to stick to just one page. And the rule was that you write down 1, 2, or 3 maximum manifestations that you want to see quickly in your life. Okay, 1 thing, 2 things, or 3 things. Because if you go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it'll stop the process at some point. Before you get to 40 days and 40 nights, you'll probably quit. That's what we've discovered through the psychology of doing this, and doing it several times with a bunch of other people that we've passed it on to, and it's worked equally well for them. So you get your journal or your notebook, and you write down 3 things that you really want in the near future, not in the distant future. These are current goals. And you can write them differently every day, as long as you write them with gratitude. So you could write like, I am thankful. What should we come up with as an example? What would be a good manifestation to do for 40 days?
Probably, I think a lot of people have health things, like to eat right, or to lose weight, or to quit smoking, or that's the sort of things that seems to come up,
Okay.
Are we looking for smaller things?
No, those are pretty big things. And if you're going to do it for 40 days, it should be something big, I think, because otherwise you're wasting a lot of energy on something small. So let's say, okay, I want to lose weight, and I want to lose 30 pounds, because they always say, be specific. If you just go, for 40 days, I lose weight, I'm thankful I have lost weight, I'm grateful I am losing weight. There's no way to measure this. Did it work or not? Right. But if you go, I am so grateful that I am losing 30 pounds in a really healthy but fast way, and I am grateful that I'm keeping it off. Okay. And then the next day you write, I am so thankful that I'm losing weight and perfectly healthy in every way, and I keep the weight off. Right. And the next day you write, I am 30 pounds lighter. I weigh X amount of pounds. You see how each day you can write it differently? Yeah. The only difference is you're writing it in the present, as if you've already achieved it. And at the end of it, if you haven't said I'm grateful for it at the beginning, at the end of it, you write, thank you. or thank you, I love you. And then at the end of it, you sign it. Now, I can sign it Eileen. I can sign it my legal signature. I can, you know, sign it Eileen Koltztag. I can sign it E. Koltztag. I can change that every day. And you date it at the top, you write it down, and then you put some gratitude behind it. You keep it in the present form as if you've already achieved it, and you sign it. And what you've done is you've made a contract with yourself. Now, after watching some videos on sound, and I'd love to hook up with that lady who's doing your sound tuning, I'm thinking I need to speak this stuff out loud. Mm-hmm. So now I'm not only writing it down for 40 days and 40 nights and signing it and dating it as a contract, but I'm saying it out loud, or I'm reading it to myself out loud. I'm putting some sound behind it.
And you sound great, by the way, with your mic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Nice, rich voice coming through. Yeah, it's
Yay.
great.
No more getting cut off. Remember, Go-Kart Bob, you were telling me that I did. My mic was voice activated, so I'd go really quiet, and then I'd come on in the meditation, and it would cut off the first, you know, bit of the first word. And I was getting all kinds of feedback. And so I'm so glad we finally worked this out. But on the end of the 40 days and 40 nights, the rule used to be that you had to do it first thing in the morning when you woke up and last thing at night when you went to bed. So basically you put your notebook and pen by your bed. And if you didn't do it religiously, for 40 days and 40 nights, you had to start over. So that was like this big threat hanging over you that if you didn't do it that day, oh no, I've done 20 days in a row and now tomorrow I have to go back to 40. It was punishment. It was punishment. So I modified it, of course, right? And I got rid of the you have to start over thing. So if you skip a day, just write 2 contracts the next day. And if you skip 3 days, write 3 contracts the next day. Get caught up. Right. So that you're on your day, you're on your 40th day, and the days that you missed, you're doing today. Right?
That's good.
So yeah. And I didn't do it in the morning and the night. I did it one or the other.
Right.
I was a busy, you know, newly graduated college kid going out to the bars with my friends and working. So I didn't have time to do both. I did one or the other. And do you know, Shane, it worked 100%. My first 40 days and 40 nights, I wrote down on a legal pad, I think I had then, and I just flipped the pages, that I got a piano because I couldn't afford one. And I taught myself how to play my mom's piano. And I wanted one in my Chicago apartment. That I was making $30,000 a year. I named it. And that I got an overseas job. And within 3 months, I got a bigger apartment and I got the money from National Public Radio, the local Chicago thing. My neighbor knocked on the door and said, I've just bought a massive keyboard that looks like a piano. And here's my littler keyboard, which was like 5 feet maybe. Would you like it? And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're just knocking on my door and offering me like a piano for free? I was like, this stuff works. And within 6 months, after moving into my new apartment, getting my piano and getting a raise, I quit. I couldn't bring my piano, my keyboard with me. And I got a job in Germany. So I'm like, wow, this stuff is powerful. So as doing a psychology degree, I did a half a degree. I'm not a psychologist. I did the 18-hour program instead of the 36. And because I did the full program in journalism and I really couldn't do a double degree. So I did half a degree in psychology. I learned that they say you have to do something 27 times. Isn't that the number? And it will become a habit. So you have to tell yourself something 27 times in a row on, you know, like over 27 days. You have to do something 27 times. You have to think something 27 times. It becomes a habit. So this 40 days or 40 nights of writing a contract with yourself is psychologically hypnotizing you, brainwashing you, programming you to believe that you really do have it.
Right.
And having that belief that you really do have it somehow manifests it. It brings it from the possibility of potential into reality.
That's interesting. I've been noticing, is your internet slow? You're kind of pixelated more than usual. It's almost like...
Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised.
You know what might help is to turn your camera off and back on, like off for like a couple of seconds. Maybe it just needs to catch up, because sometimes it looks fine and then sometimes it, you know, just the...
Well, let me tell you what I'm on. I got rid of Xfinity, which was $190 a month, and all the only extra we got on that was HBO for like when Game of Thrones would come on, and that came with high-speed internet. And we have switched to Roku, which is all the free apps. You know, we spent $40 on the Roku to plug into our smart TVs.
Right.
We've got 2 of them, and we're using the Sprint hotspot.
Oh,
now.
Okay.
What's interesting is for the whole of Christmas, or this last week that you were away, the hotspot works. It makes our phones work, it makes our computers work, and it makes our televisions work. But it might not be strong enough for a broadcast. So it's across the room. If I brought my phone over, which is providing the internet hotspot for free from Sprint, would it make it stronger? Should I bring it next to the computer?
When you look down at your Wi-Fi in the corner, does it look like your signal's good to it?
Yeah, it just shows a full signal of 5 bars.
And
it doesn't tell you how fast.
Is there a lot of stuff going on right now, like people watching TVs and things like that?
We got the TVs turned off, and we have the hotspot phone turned on, and we have the computer turned on for the broadcast. But the phone's in the middle of the room. Does it need to be next to the computer to get a good signal?
No, not if the signal on the little indicator down by your clock is strong. Then that's the one that's telling you how strong it is to your phone right now.
So I was thinking I might call Xfinity and just get some high-speed internet in here. But without testing it out tonight, we'd never know if it was pixelating or dropping.
Right. Well, at least we're connected and everything. It's just, I noticed it's more pixelated than usual. But the sound's good. So
I think I'll get it, because we don't want to be pixelated, and this is part of who we are and what we do. So they just turned it off on January 1st. So
I thought maybe you got on your old computer again, because remember it would pixelate a lot, but the new computer never did. It looked real crisp and clear. So
yeah, this is the Sprint hotspot that comes free with my phone, and it's running the whole apartment now.
That's
for free.
Amazing. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's pretty amazing. You know, to save $190 a month. When I signed up 5.5 years ago, I guess it was 6 years ago. Yeah. It was $90 a month. And they just boosted up 20% every year without asking your permission. And I got lazy. I was like, oh yeah, it went up. And I just forgot about it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it went up again. And now after the 5th or 6th time, when I'm paying double per month and how that money can be spent, like I want to go.
Whoops. I guess we bragged on it too soon. Are you still there? Are you just thinking? I'm just playing. Hold on a second.
Sadie, I want to do.
Whoops. Okay, there you go.
Did I freeze up?
Yeah, you were froze for a second there. Okay, so you said you wanted to go to East SETI and then it froze.
I said dropping the cable will pay for that trip easily.
Oh, yeah.
But not if I'm going to keep dropping out with you guys.
Well, I don't know. See, I don't have cable. I've just got the internet, and it's more like, I guess it started at like $80 a month, and now it's up to like, I want to say $120 a month just for internet, you know? With I have no TV at all or anything, but yeah, so.
I remember when that was like $50 a month. Well, yeah, 50 for the high speed and 30 for the slow stuff.
But everybody here uses it on their phone, their smartphones and everything, so I had to go up. I couldn't use the basic package because you go over on how much you use your data, and they slow it down after you hit the peak, you know? So they do it so slow that everybody's buffering, and they're like, what's wrong with the internet? And, you know, so it's like, because everyone's using it, you know, everyone's smartphone uses it. All the TVs use it because they use it like on Netflix or, you know, YouTube videos and stuff from the, like the Xbox, you know, because we have that running. We don't even have like a cable box or anything. The Xbox is really for the TV. So they're either playing a game or tuning in an Xbox app like Netflix or YouTube or something like that. And that runs that one TV. And then we have our old Xbox 360 running the other television. So everything's literally, you know, running off of video game consoles and the internet, you know.
Well, I'm going to have to go and hook up high-speed internet. I just wanted to see what it was like on an internet hotspot. And it's just not strong enough.
Yeah. But like you came in clear for a second there, so it's just kind of spotty, you know.
Yeah, but we don't want to be spotty after getting the microphone fixed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but really sound is the more important thing, because a lot of times people, like I know even myself, I'll put it on and do other things, either do artwork, and because it's not required that they watch this right now. We don't have a lot of visual content that they need to see. But those who are sitting and watching it, you know, we don't want it to be pixelated for them either, so.
And also, remember how spotty I used to get during thunderstorms in the rainy season, because I'm not in a town. I am outside of towns, kind of in the middle of nowhere, as far south as you can go in Florida before hitting the swamps, literally. Wow. Like the roads around me are as far south as you can go in the United States. And we get spotty Wi-Fi anyway, even if you pay for the best.
Right. That's crazy. So, yeah. But it's okay. It's working for now. So I just brought it up because I didn't know if you were aware of it. And I forgot you had mentioned you were going to swap.
I can see perfectly clear on my computer. Everything's perfectly clear, but that has nothing to do with the broadcast quality. You get to see that, not me.
Yeah, and that's usually how it is. You can download much faster than you can upload. So you're getting everything nice and clear, but it's just not sending your video over. But your sound's coming through. So when we do the meditation, you kill your camera anyway. So I think that's going to be, you know, the sound will continue to come through really nice.
It'll be nice and clear. And moving my phone over from the middle of the room to the next to the computer is not going to change the connection?
Not if by your clock it's showing you a good signal down there by the Wi-Fi thing. I mean, you can try it if you'd like.
Okay, I'll go get it just in case, and then you can let me know.
So I'll put it on me big here. I can take my name off of there, of course. And then... okay, so okay, let me check the chat because I haven't really been doing that. Lots of love light to all of you guys. Yeah, I was trying to be a little bit funny there. Oh, I should have had my cowboy hat over here. I wanted to do my countryman impersonation. Welcome to Unbiased on the Fence. Have my big old Stetson cowboy hat on that Frank got me. It's actually at the top of my closet so it doesn't get messed up. Okay, here we go.
I did it. It's right next. I plugged it in too, because you never know if we go long.
Oh, it could be dying over there. Yeah, it uses a lot of electricity doing the hotspot thing.
Yes, you do, and you use a lot of the phone power goes down quite quickly on a hotspot.
Yeah, I actually had my my computer set up to jump over to my phone hotspot during the storm once, because the battery keeps going on my laptop. So the power ended up going out, and the time it took for it to switch over to my phone hotspot, it still ended the broadcast. So I could have been broadcasting with my power off here, been all dark and just the light of the laptop on my face, and still broadcasting going strong. But yeah, it took too long for it to switch over. So. I've done
live broadcasts on the phone on Jose's channel, and it's perfect from my phone to her computer. It's better than going through a laptop for some reason for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know why.
Who knows?
Well, getting back to manifestations, any other techniques? I know the 40 days and 40 nights works, and I think it's because you're reprogramming your brain. And your heart, because you're being grateful for it. You're thinking you already have it. I like the Play-Doh one. That feels really good because you only have to do it once for 3 hours.
Yeah, and then you're done with it. And you're feeling yourself creating it and molding it in your hand. You know, that feeling of creation. Yeah. I think that's good. I can see why that one works. I'm definitely going to do that one.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah,
I've never heard of anything. Oh, I have heard of vision boarding. Have you? Vision boarded?
Is that like where, because I know a lot of prosperity preachers would say, you know, you want that new car, put it on your refrigerator, look at it every day, and, you know, hallelujah.
That's it.
You're going to have
you take a place on your wall or a cork board or even a piece of poster paper, and you just cut out or print off the internet, because we don't really have magazines anymore like we used to. You cut out images and you glue or tape them onto your vision board. Anything that you want to manifest in your entire life goes up on your board. And then when you look at the board, or when it's in your peripheral vision while you're working, it's programming your mind. But it's not saying I have these things, it's saying I want them.
Right.
It's different to what we're talking about. Yeah. But if people vision board and put up what they want, they get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, you could have a picture of a bunch of happy people. I can see creating, surrounding yourself with just happy images, and it'd be a good thing if you see, instead of it looking like a bunch of starving African kids, you can get one where they're all colorfully dressed and happy looking and fed and well nourished looking, and have that up there. And that's the type of thing, because that's a constant state that you already have that. We talk about that on here. We don't want to do like stuff that expires, sort of like that way you're always asking for it as if you never have gotten it. And so I can see doing it the other way would be better, to have children that look fed, and to have people that have homes or whatever, just have these happy images around, so you can imagine the world the way you want it to be, right?
See, that's you from your heart, in a very global, kind, cooperative, compassionate way. Because a lot of people's vision boards would have a Ferrari, a yacht, perhaps a really hunky guy or sexy girl on there, a couple of Caribbean vacations,
cruise ship or something. Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah, and you're
that would be cool.
I would have happy children who are fed and clothed well. That just shows the nature of where you're coming from, which is super cool.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I would never have a Ferrari. I think they're cool and stuff, but it's just a big waste of money, in my opinion.
Yeah. And when I'm saying I might be driving, walking, working, I will just say my earth or my world is compassionate and cooperative. And then I'm like, and so it is, and so it is done, which is what amen means. It's from Amun. It's from Amun Ra. And it's like, and so it is, and so it is done. So sometimes so it is, and so it is done, to get away from my Catholic upbringing and my Jesuit university and Catholic schools.
Plus the Amun Ra scare people.
Yeah. And I just get away from the amen, because it brings a negative feeling to me from a lot of Catholicism in my Catholic schools and Jesuit university was not always positive.
Yeah.
So I just say what it says, which is, and so it is, or, and so it is done. And I figure that once I've said that my world is cooperative and compassionate, that means nobody's hungry. There are no bombs. There are no wars. Once I do those two words, I feel like I've covered everything. There's no GMOs. There's no chemtrails unless we need them, because there could be things going on cosmically that we're unaware of, where the chemtrails are actually serving us. Remember? Yeah. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, you just
so that way, if I say, yeah, exactly. My sky's 5D. He's the same way. He's very appreciative of his sky. He's appreciative of his if there's chemtrails, he's appreciative of them, because they look like, I think they're called sylphs. Is that right? Sylph?
Not sure about that one. I have seen the standing wave patterns that we noticed it driving down. I don't know if you've noticed, the Ruffles potato chip pattern you'll see in the clouds, where it looks like a standing wave pattern. Now, I'm on the fence about whether this is HARP or some type of man-made waves they're putting out. Maybe 5G waves or 4G waves, or I don't know what it is. It could be natural, though. I'm still on the fence.
Gamma rays? They could be natural.
They could be natural. And it's just like what we were talking, Alan and I were talking in Austin, that it's almost like, you walk up to a pond and you see ripples in it, not to wonder what landed in the pond to make those ripples, is the same thing as looking at these ripples in the sky and being like, they're natural. No, something caused the ripples,
But sometimes the wind causes the water to ripple. So nothing was thrown into the pond.
Exactly.
So it's not chemicals always going up there.
Or an acorn or something fell in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something natural.
Something like that. Something natural. So that's why I always bless the chemtrails. I always bless the sky, you know, and love it. And so do a lot of sky watchers like Dead GPK and My Skies 5D.
Yeah.
Very positive about, and that way I figure if the chemtrails are going up for negative reasons, I'm blessing them and clearing them. And if they're going up for positive reasons, I'm blessing and clearing them too. So it's a win-win situation. If you bless something that's negative, you clear it. And if you bless something that isn't really negative, it's positive, you're just promoting it. You're giving it more love, more energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have to bless President Trump for that reason. You know, I'm not very keen on politicians.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that's really surprised me is how people have flip-flopped on that. You know, it used to be in church like, you pray for your leaders, you pray for your president. And I've seen people go so far as like, I'm not going to pray for that SOB or whatever. It's like, dude, he still can cause a lot of damage. Don't you want the best intentions and the best outcome? I mean,
exactly.
Put it in there. I mean, that seems like more of a reason to pray if you don't think it's, you know, it's the right guy in there.
And
you know?
The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the Soros and the Illuminators, the Illuminati, the Illuminators. We got to pray for them. We got to bless them. And people are like, I'm not blessing those so-and-sos. Look what they do. And it's like, no, they really need your blessings. Because if we can actually flip and change and clear the hearts of the people who are causing the most damage, then the whole earth changes. The whole world changes. 5D, boom, here tomorrow. If they start to say, yeah, we don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. That's destroying the earth. That's hurting people. We don't want to do that anymore. Yeah. If we can change the hearts of the people causing the most problems through love and blessings, then job done, you know?
And so it is. That was where I would normally throw an A.
And so it is.
But yeah.
And so it is done. Amen.
So that's one of the biggest battles I've had this whole time is like learning to rise above the duality of this. And that's what you're doing when you can do that. When you can look beyond your anger that you have at these people for messing things up and doing what they've done and realizing they're just two sides of a coin and you want the whole thing to be better. Then you realize positiveness is what they need. I mean, if they're really negative, then they need lots of positive to sort of pull them out. And you don't want to drop into the negative with your feelings towards them just because they're negative, because that's really pulling you down. So it's this whole battle to rise above, you know, all of the duality and sort of try to be neutral about it, you know?
Yep. If not loving, be neutral. At least be neutral if you can't be loving, right? Yeah. It's like having two children and one's really naughty and does the opposite of everything you tell them to do. The other child's always cooperative, always kind, just perfect little angel child, right? And you're giving all this love and affection and hugs and well done, job well done to the good kid. And to the naughty kid, you're like, that's so naughty. Go sit on that stair. Don't you say a word until, you know, I tell you, or don't you get up. And, you know, we tend to punish the naughty when in reality, and we reward the good, when in reality, we need to reward the naughty and try to get them to be good. It's a hard thing, but naughty children who are punished become naughtier. That is a proven.
And you know what else I've noticed that goes right along with what you're saying is that the naughty kid sometimes gets the attention, gets you out of the mood to love on the loving, obedient child, and then they end up getting all the attention. The good child gets neglected because, you know, you're not really in the mood to, you know, love on them because you're, you know, ticked off at the kid. And then they're always getting the attention, screaming and yelling and all that. So, yeah, it's like, you know, there's two ways you can go, and it's a balance to sort of get in there, still treat them both lovingly and not let the one suck up all of the attention because they're being bad. And a lot of them do it to get the attention too, you know, so. Just to get the attention. It's tough being a parent.
And it's really hard to correct children positively. That is a good challenge for us. Yeah. And I think good parents learn how to do that, although they slip and occasionally just like blow off their steam and, you know. We're not perfect, right?
It is tough. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, would you, because we got kind of a sketchy signal, should we go into the meditation and then finish up around 9:15?
Yeah, let's see about... since it's the beginning of the year, should we do something for setting the sort of, I don't know, the intention for the whole year?
Oh, I think I can work that in with Jane's. Jane got a hold of me via email for the show and said, but I think we can do them both. You tell me if we can do them both. I'm not sure, because sometimes I try to do both and it doesn't, the other one just gets forgotten. She said, could we please do Loving, Healing, Earth? Do you remember, like we did 6 months ago?
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, and that so, you know, and that's ultimately that's really a comprehensive view of what we're trying to do on all levels, whether it's helping the children or helping the earth or helping the water get cleaner or helping the elite not be so naughty, like you're saying, you know. So really all of that ties into this whole thing. So I like that. I think that's a good one for this.
And can we tie in, because it's our first one of the new year, that we can empower our positive, loving, nurturing intentions as well?
Yeah, I like that.
Can we do both?
And that's an ongoing thing. So
maybe try to do both. Mm-hmm. They're both ongoing things. So yeah, we have to be careful, because when we put this out, if we did it as a live intention and then it was gone, poof, gone into the universe, we could tackle anything in the now. But, you know, Shane and I were talking about this. If it's a specific thing, like a particular earthquake or a series of fires or something like that, by leaving it out there, which we want to do, so others can partake in it, and retrocausality, they can give it their power, which they're doing now. They haven't even seen it or heard it yet, but they're empowering it now because everything's happening in the now. Then we're constantly putting it out there that there's a problem, and here's the problem. And maybe it'll be solved and the solution will be given in a week or a month. So we can't leave it out there for years saying that this is a problem. You're saying it in the now. Right. So that's why we have to be kind of careful what we tackle and how we say it, because we're leaving it out there and giving it this extra causality.
So we're really doing it, I guess, on this particular meditation as the ongoing health of the planet, then, that it will be, you know, as healthy as possible. Yep. And
healing the planet,
and
the ongoing power of our positive requests, our positive manifestations.
Good. And then anybody that does the clay, that ties into that. So, or the 40
I'm going to do the clay.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the clay?
I'm going to, yeah, definitely.
I'm going to go get some Play-Doh because it's colorful.
Yeah. I'll probably go nab up one of my kids' Play-Doh. Here, give me this. It's just going to dry out anyway.
Give me that Play-Doh. No, give it to me. And then the 40 days and 40 nights. I think I've explained it if anybody wants to try it. Yeah. All of these things are loose, so you can adapt it to your own lifestyle. If you want to change something about it, go ahead, change something. If you want to do it for 30 days, do it for 30. I think the magic number is 27, that if you do something 27 times and think something 27 times, it becomes a habit. It sinks in. Yeah. So as long as you get at least 30 in there, and maybe people are calling it 40 days for biblical reasons, like you said, which means many.
All right. Yeah, and I just found out, and I don't know, you know, that's what the guy was telling me in the bookstore. I haven't really looked into it, but it made sense why you see it pop up so much, you know.
Yep. So those are two things that we've come up with, and if anybody else wants to share theirs, put them in the comments. Things that help manifestation, empower manifestation.
Yeah, in the chat or in the comments below later on, if you guys got anything. And I try to check the spam, so if you put in a link in there to something, kind of like the link I provided with the Play-Doh thing, it will go to the spam. So it's almost better to say what you are wanting to share in the title of it, and then respond to your own comment below that with the link, or say, I'm going to put the link below, that way, because it doesn't notify me. If you put a link in there and post it, it goes into the spam, and I don't even know you put anything unless I go physically look. But if you say you're going to post the link below the comment, then at least I'll see that and be like, oh, let me go look for it, and then, you know, do it that way. If you're already a moderator or whatever, you got your wrench, then you can post something anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah, that happens to me a lot, and I have to remember. I got to remember to go to the spam folder. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, and I usually get to it, and then I okay it. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, put that on my comments, put that on my channel, go ahead. Yeah. But I always look at what the link is before I okay it, because I'm afraid I might okay something that's really horrible.
Yeah, I do.
And
too.
I always watch before I okay a link.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, because I don't want it to look like I'm promoting something crazy or something, so.
Yeah, something horrible might come up and you're like, oh my God, I never should have okayed that one. But then I have people that I know I can okay anything that they send me. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
okay, I know. That's somebody I know. I know their links are going to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So, I don't think I have to do anything differently now that I have this fancy mic. Just go and turn off my video.
Yeah. And moving, even that little bit that you just moved closer made it get louder and
Did it?
stuff.
Did it make a change? Okay, so here's my mic. I know I get quiet while I do meditations. I'm laughing because I've heard them on playback and I'm like, where did my voice go? It just kind of like disappears when I do the meditation. But never mind. Okay, so I'm gonna have a drink of water. You guys too, if you have your water.
All right.
Although you'll not be talking, so you don't need it as much as I do. And let me just refresh in my mind. We're going to meditate about healing Earth. And we're also going to meditate. We're going to include empowering our positive, loving, nurturing intentions for 2019. That sounds cool. Okay, so get comfortable and just kind of squish, move around and make sure that you're in a position where you'll be comfortable for at least 10 minutes. And take a nice, deep, relaxing breath in and hold it for just a few moments. And as you exhale out any negativity that you might have experienced over this wonderful holiday season. And take another deep breath in. Hold it for just a few moments. And this time, as you exhale out any tension that might be anywhere in your body. And on the third inhale, this time inhale in so deeply that your tummy extends a little bit as the lower lungs get some air and oxygen, and hold it for just a few moments. And this time exhale any sensitivities that your loving family members may have experienced who live with you. And now just breathe naturally. Breathe in through your heart chakra. And for those of you joining us that have never done this before, you just imagine breathing in through your heart and exhaling out of your heart. Breathe in through your heart and exhale comfortably out of your heart. And this time, as you continue to breathe in through your heart at a pace that suits you, imagine a beautiful, clear, clean, loving light coming in with that breath in through your heart, and exhale that light back out through your heart. That light can be any color that you would like in this moment now. Inhaling the color in and exhaling it back out. And that color, know that it comes from God or source. You can choose if you prefer to have it come from your higher self, or you can have it come from the creative universe, the universe of all potential and possibility. Breathing it in and exhaling it back out. And now we're going to shoot down a grounding cord from our root chakra at the base of your spine. That grounding cord is usually silver or golden color, but you can choose a different color. And it goes from your root chakra down through the floor, through the building materials of where you are, through the surface of the earth, through the layers of the earth, and it goes down and down and down until it reaches the center of the earth, where it spreads out like the roots of a tree. Now you're grounded securely to the earth, and you let yourself go into this meditation freely and comfortably. And now as you continue to breathe that beautiful, clear, clean color in through your heart and out of your heart, let it fill a bubble of light around you that goes over your head, around your face, around the back of your head, around your shoulders, and around your torso. This bubble of protective, loving, clean light goes under you, even under your feet. And let that color that you're breathing in through your heart chakra and out of your heart chakra, let it fill every cell of your body. And now continue to breathe in a relaxed way and imagine or think of a beautiful place that you've either seen this earth somewhere, whether it's the ocean, a beach, a forest, a beautiful field of flowers, beautiful green grass somewhere, or a beautiful place in your imagination that you can now create, be it a crystal cave or underwater, an underwater world, if that's something you would love to see. Imagine a beautiful, safe place. And what does it sound like there? What does it look like there? What are the colors that you're seeing? Are there animals there? Are there children there? Is your family there? And now that you're in a beautiful, safe place and you have your grounding cord secure and you're in your protective bubble of light, imagine breathing in healing light. Light that is going to heal 100% of your body. Every cell, every photon, every essence of you, which is your body, your etheric body or your mind body, your mental body, your emotional body or your heart astral body, and your physical body, which is right here in the room with you, made of matter. Let that light that you've created in your bubble of light heal all aspects of you. And if you like, when you're ready, send that light out into your home and let it heal all of your family members. And imagine that light surrounding them and healing them with love, with clarity, with joy, with appreciation, with gratitude. And if you like, send that light further out and let it heal your community. And once you've done that, let it go further out and let it heal your state or your province or your county, the area in which you live. And when you're ready, just see that light going further and further until it covers the entirety of the country that you're in, healing everyone and everything that it touches along the way. And finally, when you're ready, let your healing love light go out and surround the entire world. Whether you see the world as a ball, a sphere, or you see the world as a flat plane or a dome, it doesn't matter. Just picture your love light going out and surrounding the world. And let that light rest there, knowing that it is healing everyone and everything that it comes in contact with. It's healing the sky. It's healing the ground, the minerals. It's healing the plant life. Your love light is healing the animal kingdom, all animals of the air, the earth, and the water. And it's healing all humans. And it's healing their food and clearing and cleaning their food. And it's healing their water, so they all have clear, clean water to drink. And it's healing the air that they breathe. It's healing their medicines. It's healing their media. It's healing their thoughts. It's healing their feelings. It's healing everyone and everything. Now that the earth is surrounded in the color of your love light tonight, let it shrink and get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it fits comfortably in your arms. And there you cradle the earth like you would cradle a newborn baby. Very gently, very gingerly, with a lot of love. And hold the earth and send it all of your love. And as you're sending your love light to the earth is sending its love light back to you. Imagine what that color would be. Would it be green? Would it be the browns, the reds, the oranges? Or do you see it more as the purples and the blues, perhaps yellows? And as the earth is sending you its love light, allow it to clean and clear every essence of all of your bodies, your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, bodies that you have that you don't even know of, that we don't have a word for. Let the earth love light clear and clean all of your bodies that make up you. And know that this energy that you're receiving right now is going to empower your positive, loving intentions for today, for 2019, and forever. Now, whatever you know is forever and always. So just sit for a few moments in this reciprocal cycle of love. Love coming from you to the earth, and love coming back from the earth to you. And know that the intentions that benefit more than just your solitary individual being, those that benefit your family, those that benefit your community, those that benefit humanity, and those that benefit all and everything and everyone, are supercharged by the earth and by the universe, so that they are manifested more quickly and more powerfully the more you intend goodness for all. Quicker your world changes to reflect that. And know that this is part of bringing new earth or 5D earth or fourth density right here, right now, through you and your heart chakra and your love. And when you're ready, just start to move around a little bit. Kind of move your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your back. How about your legs, your ankles, your feet? Let your grounding cord go to the center of the earth where it disappears, and open your eyes. There we go. Are you still muted or are you back?
I am back.
Awesome. I heard the air conditioning kick in like halfway through it, so I don't know if that changed the sound quality.
You could hear it through your headphones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what that was? Sometimes I think it's an airplane.
Yeah, it's the air conditioning because my office, which I'm in right now, is right next to the cupboard that you open with the air conditioner and the
I think I could only hear it turning on, but like once it was on, I think I just heard like a hum of it coming on, but that's it.
Yeah, it's about 4, 5, maybe 6 feet away. And it's loud, but you don't hear it in the rest of the apartment. It's just that this is where I'm sitting. This is where I do my work.
Yeah. Excellent. No, I thought it was good though. There was a few little connection glitches, but the sound itself, no cutting out. So awesome.
Well, I am going to get high-speed internet back in the house. I'm not going to live on a hotspot. And pretty soon, next week, then maybe we won't have any glitches at all.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually had these 2 stones that I got from, I don't know if you can see without me.
Let's see.
From Megan. Now, what she did was she went all over the world, and she had like these main stones that she went to these sacred places with, and then she put them on this grid with these other stones to sort of absorb the resonance of these, sacred sites, and then she gave them out at the event so that we all could take, the energy from all these places. So I put one in each hand, and every time I do this, I get chills. Even before I did this meditation, but I was like, oh, let me do that. Let me connect to the world while we're healing the world, and put one in each hand, and so I meditated with one in each hand. So thank you, Megan, for doing that. I'll have more on that in the video I'm creating.
That is so cool.
But yeah, it's really neat. And she had it in this little alien.
Oh my God.
See the little moon? That's a button.
That is so cute.
Yeah, you can open it up and put your crystals inside of it. So it's like a cute little alien.
That is adorable. Did she make that, or did she sell those?
She bought it somewhere. She goes to all that. She supports a lot of artists and stuff, and she was telling me how they got these little machines now. They take the old cigarette machines that you used to have to pull the things,
Mm-hmm.
And the cigarettes would fall out of the vending machine. Well, they're repurposing them, and people will put little art things inside these cigarette pack size boxes, and you can pay like $5 or something, and it's got the person's like contact information, where if so it's sort of a promotion type thing, but you can, and she loves to go to those and just buy people's artwork and stuff and support local artists and things like that. So
what a great idea.
Yeah, this guy was like in a store or something, so it didn't come out of that machine, but yeah, she
that was so cute.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's great.
I have labradorite. Can you see that?
Oh wow, that's cool.
It's not the Merlin stone. There is a Merlin stone, but this is the magician's, the alchemist stone. Because if you take the labradorite and you look at it in the sunlight, the colors turn on, like there's electricity in it. And then if you take it out of the sunlight, they go dark again. So that's a really cool stone. And then I only have one more here, and that's the dark smoky quartz, which is grounding, so that I don't get too deep and go too far, and stay very grounded and very present during our meditations. But I love rocks. I love working with stones.
I never did before, but I love them now that I've sort of began to realize how cool they are,
Oh, super cool. And the best ones are the ones that are given to you, or the ones that you find on the road in a special place. And then you ask if you can take them home, and then you take them home, and then you can just like recapture the moment that you were there by holding them.
That's so funny, because I got this one that I keep on my desk from Sedona. It's a piece of the red Sedona.
It's like a red rock.
Yeah.
That is a super red rock. Ooh, don't go away. This is worth waiting for. Hold on.
Okay. And while we're waiting on her, I also have the organite that.
Yep, and I've got one like that without the peace sign.
Did you get it from Terry too?
No, I got it on here. I got it on Amazon, but it looks like yours.
Oh,
It's got all the crystal and the gold. Most of these you get are either bright red, bright orange, or bright blue. You and I have the natural colored ones.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of red at the tip of it.
You'll see on Amazon, they'll be like bright green. Oh, cool bottom. Did you see the bottom?
Yeah. Yeah, it has, you can see like the chain in it, like a golden chain. It's really neat.
Yeah. Now this, my friends, is Mount Sinai.
Oh,
are you ready? I'll put it close so you can see what's in the rock.
Wow.
Do you see the black?
What are those little veins in
there? They think that they are moss and
let me go full screen before you move that. There we go. I always forget.
Whatever the carbon is of the moss, they think is embedded into this kind of pink rock from Mount Sinai. My dad went there. and picked up a big piece. But can you see the black veins through it? Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah.
I've never seen a rock like this. Yeah, I don't know what the black is, but it's in it. Yeah, the black is in it, and it looks like moss.
Yeah.
You know? But it's through the whole thing. I don't know how the moss could get into the what feels like granite.
Yeah, that's strange. It's really cool.
Something to do with Noah? Did Noah have anything to do with Mount Sinai? What's the is Mount Sinai where Moses received the commandments?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when the fiery bush burned, it went into the rock and left black.
That's what it looks like. Totally looks like it. Yeah.
I mean, I studied geology at university as an elective, and I have every rock from around the world, and I've never seen anything like that.
That might be. What if that was a piece of the first set of stone tablets that he took? He broke because he got angry and had to go get.
Now you're scaring me. Now you're scaring me. I got something that powerful in my room. My dad worked all over Africa and the Middle East, and he brought me a piece in Mount Sinai. He did ask first if I could have it. So I didn't send it back and say, put it back.
Oh, put it back. So that was after the incident with the pyramid where you had to send the rocks back to?
Yes. Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Yes, the pyramid, I was like 25 years old, and all these things were going wrong because I took a pyramid stone home. And I've had this since I was about 35, and I'm 57. So touch wood, I think it's okay for me to have it. But those little black things going through it that look like moss are amazing, because usually when you get a fossil and it breaks where the fossil was, you get two sides of the fossil, but that's it. You get two pictures of the fossil. It doesn't run through the stone on all angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great
something funny is in this stone.
That's a great segue into the one, because I know there's always somebody that hasn't heard. So in the King James Version of the Bible, when you now look at the Ten Commandments, they're written on tables instead of tablets. That's in the King James Version only. It's a typo, but still, it's a typo that never existed. So they're now written on 2 stone tables, and it says it like 10 different times. Tables instead of tablets.
That proves the matrix is breaking down. That kind of goes against the people who say that the Mandela effects are a message from somebody to us, because we think, oh, it's a message to wake us up, and maybe they mean something. Let's decipher them. But when you go from tablets to tables, it just looks like a glitch, like a typo, like an error.
Exactly, an error. But I think that's exactly what it's telling us, is that since, it's only been like the last 100 or 200 years that the Bibles, they say it's the inerrant Word of God. That's something new. I didn't realize this until I got into looking into it. So it wasn't always known as the inerrant Word of God. It was only known as the inerrant, meaning no errors, no typos, for the last like 100 or 200 years or something. It's pretty new on the scene. So I felt like that was a direct message about that. Here is a clear typo. It's only in the King James Version, So
yeah, that is a pretty strong message, actually. But I've also noticed that on certain roads around me that I drive often, that are smooth and clear and well paved and well painted, they're bubbling up like they were poured, not porn. Oh my God, like they were poured.
Okay, I was like, do I need to start some censoring here? Okay, no, okay.
And like this is like, I'm not even going to say it. It's the family joke is when I was 18 and I met my sister's husband for the first time. We went out to a fancy meal. They were going to get married, and I said, we were talking about food, and I said, have you ever eaten testicles? And I meant tentacles, because we were talking about octopus. So that is one of the family jokes. Eileen will sit down and have dinner with a stranger and say, have you eaten testicles? Tentacles.
Oh my God, that reminds me when I was signing my sister up for school, and in the paperwork, how they print and like copy and recopy, and you start getting little missing parts of the letter, so it starts not looking like what it is because you're missing little parts of the letter. Well, it was talking all about POM, P-O-M, like I guess pom class, cheerleader. Yeah, and they called it palm. They didn't call it cheerleading. They called it palm. So with the missing thing in there, it kept looking like porn, and it looked like you were signing your kid up for some kind of porn group. You know,
oh my God, ridiculous. And maybe you were, knowing the Illuminati, right. They just snuck it in there,
this?
Right?
You know, this is ridiculous. Over and over again, it would be missing it, and it looked like it was PORN instead of POM.
Oh my God. So, yeah, I don't know if I could sign that. I would get really weird at the table and go, excuse me, everybody, does this look like palm to you, or does it look like something else?
Well, thank God my daughter was wanting to go for ROTC instead of palm.
There you go. Instead of P.
Right.
So anyway, what we were talking about before, I said
okay, yeah. The site was poured. Okay, yeah.
So it looks like it's been poured, like concrete, and like it wasn't smooth. It's like bubble, 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 and it's solidified that way for parts of the roads. Now this is the weird thing, because I thought, well, maybe somebody had like a cement truck that goes around and around and around. So the cement was wet, not dry cement trucks.
Right.
Had dribbled cement down the road. But the line, you know, the in between two lanes going the same direction, right over, boom, 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 right over that pour.
Right.
And carries on. And I'm like, this is not normal. There's no way that they would just like paint over these really bumpy parts of the road that would look like the road melted and started to come up.
Right.
Like in, I would imagine, like volcanic rock looks when it's bubbling and coming up, and it's not setting.
You think it was flat and then painted and then
it was flat.
Bubbled.
I know these roads.
Oh, okay.
So I feel they're glitches.
Yeah.
Like the King James Bible, I think they're errors. They're just like the roads are glitching.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it, because it wasn't like something was dropped there and all this bubbly, some rocky cement was left. They actually put the white line over it, going, and then it's straight again, and then it gets that way again. And I just noticed this the last week.
Yeah.
That the roads are getting a little funny looking.
Well, you know, Gosha, the one from, I sent you that extraterrestrial contact where they were explaining everything about the Matrix and all that. And she was saying that there used to be like 12 nuclear reactors running the hologram of deception from the moon. And now it's only like running on 4 reactors. So it's breaking down. And they talk about how it's breaking down.
Well,
they even
you told me that.
Yeah.
I watched all their videos that she's got. And now I'm noticing glitchy roads. So it's like you kind of opened my eyes to it.
Yeah.
I watched her videos, and now I'm noticing where the glitches are.
What did you think about that? She's actually coming on Wednesday at 1 o'clock to share. And she's trying to get everything from Spanish to English. And she's paired up with another YouTuber named Robert that has like 175,000 subscribers. And he has a bunch of the information. He goes into stuff like vaccines and things like that she hasn't even touched on her channel, because she didn't want to, do double the work because it was already done. But now that she's putting it in English, there's missing pieces that need to be put in English. And he doesn't speak English. He only speaks Spanish. So yeah, it's really crazy, but she's coming on, and I just really wanted to get that information out to other people because it's really fascinating. And it's not channeled.
It is fascinating.
She said she chats back and forth with these people. So I don't know.
Yeah. I would ask her if I was on, and this is putting on my like super journalistic cap, the beginning of her videos, which are fascinating. I can't wait till people in our community start watching all of her videos, because they really are super, super interesting. And there's something that resonates with me with them, because I go back for more. I know you do too.
Yeah.
In the beginning of her videos, she kept talking about the Star Trek Prime Directive, that you cannot, that was a different contact. That contact's now gone, remember? Because she changed contacts. One of them kind of went away. And she said, there's a Prime Directive. We can't just come down and change everything on Earth for you. We can't fix it so that, everybody's free and everybody's happy. You have to do it yourself. And then she, halfway through her channel, started talking about Contact in the Desert people, which is like the Corey Good and the David Wilcock and the, what's that guy? Sather, maybe? There's kind of and I can't remember, Emery Smith, yeah. And they'd been in contact with her, and then she got a new source of information who said that the Space Alliance is going to reset the finances on Earth by now, by, around December, January time.
And if they didn't, they weren't going to, or something like that.
And that if they did it, they weren't going to. And what I would love to ask her is, that came from her new source who's communicating with her, not the first source. I would say, how does the prime directive of non-interference coexist with, we're going to reset Earth's finances? Because that's a super interference as far as I think. If I would love if they could do it, So
it was my understanding that they were going to do it through a human agency. So I think it's like they can't do it as an outside source. So if they come down, you know how they said sometimes they'll like make somebody's tire flat so that they avoid something, and that person thinks of that as being a coincidental thing. So it's not considered interference because it seemed like they just came out and their tire was flat. But if they miraculously do something and it's clear that they're doing it, then that's sort of a violation of the prime directive. That's how I understood it. But the reset, I thought, was going to happen I thought it was going to happen through a human agency, but they were going to be helping it behind the scenes, out of view. So thus,
that makes sense, because if you do the Dolores Cannon books on visitors, the way that visitors from different places can interact with us and our future history is by coming through as volunteers to interact as a human being. They can't just pop down here, boom, and fix it. But then in order to do that, the volunteer has to give up all memory of who they really are and where they really come from, because then it would be seen as interference, wouldn't it? It's like, oh, I'm from Venus and I'm going to fix this world and make everybody love everybody. Well, that would be direct interference. But if you come in as a volunteer, as a human being, and you have no idea who you are and where you come from, and you do it as a human being, somehow that's considered non-interference. Yeah.
That's strange. And even they can break the rule too. So in Law of One, when I was reading it, it was like they talked about this sort of natural balancing they made it almost sound like it was like gravity. Like if they do too much, then it would allow too much negative. So if too much positive broke that rule, it's like that same amount of negative is allowed to break the rule, and vice versa. So if the negatives break the rule, then it allows the positives to break that same amount of the rule or something. So there's a balancing act that takes place.
Makes sense. That makes sense. So while you were gone, I did a disclosure video of my contact, and I know you know about it, and only a handful of people that I've spoken with know about my family's long generational history of contact. And my mom had experiences, I do, my sister does. So when you get a chance, go and watch my contact. It's so funny because a lot of people said, oh, you really meant it when you said make the popcorn, because it's an hour and 4 minutes long. And I start from when I was 5 years old until now.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to definitely check that out.
And you see, I don't know everything. I have no idea. I have missing time. I have really strange contact experiences with physical things happening, either to me or to people around me or to the building or to the room or to the park that I'm in.
Yeah.
And yet still, I have all these unanswered questions. So that's prime directive. That's like them working with a lot of people, millions and millions and millions of people, but not telling them why and what's going to happen. It's still out there. It's all potentiality and possibility, because people who are working with different, say, cosmic friends, brothers and sisters, they don't even have a clue. They have no idea what's going on and what the outcome's going to be.
You should go to Debbie Solaris and see if she can shine some light on some of those mysteries, because the topic of Egypt kept coming up for a bunch of us at this meeting, and so when I'm going to have her on really soon again, and I'm going to say, hey, please tell us this ancient Egypt connection we all have, because we all feel that we had some kind of connection. Maybe we knew each other back then, maybe we had a life together back then or something, but I'm interested to see what she can find from the Akashic Records by pulling that up, because she seems to be really connected.
Oh, that would be great.
Wouldn't that be
I
cool?
really love her stuff.
Yeah,
when you interview her and she comes on, she's such a positive and interesting energy. And definitely tap into that, because what I've been reading lately, and I don't know if it's true, is that the Atlanteans became the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians. So you're talking previous, very, very highly developed race of people. And they're saying that because it was in the Atlantic, half of them went to South America and half of them went to Africa and Northern Africa.
That would make sense why we have pyramids in both places.
So then they supposedly didn't build the pyramids, but they taught the people living in South America and the people living in Northern Africa how to build the pyramids with sound and all kinds of sound.
Which David Wilcock gets into that, how they were levitating rocks with drums and horns or something. I can't really remember. It's been a while, but really interesting stuff. Yeah.
So, you know, when you go past ancient Egypt, which is important because a lot of the negative Illuminati secret society information actually came out of Babylon, which is modern day Iraq, which is Sumerian clay tablets, Mesopotamia. It's not ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
So
ties in with the Anunnaki and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the Hebrew, Torah and Talmud, which later became the Old Testament, was based on it. That came out of ancient Babylon, not out of ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
And what else did? And Christianity came out of that, and Islam came out of that. So really, you can trace our modern Western religions back to Babylon.
Yeah.
And now we're complaining about what's going on in the media and education and medicine and food,
which
and
all started in
Sumer.
Government. Right. Even like a lot of the gardening and the politics and the all the courts and all of that. It's like when you really look at how it all started there. Yeah.
It all came out of Babylon. So how can we like not see the connection between the negativity of the ruling class over perhaps the naivety or the innocence of the class that is ruled, which is like 90% of the population of the world. You know, we're very innocent. And that's why they keep saying we're the lambs, we're the sheeple, and we have our shepherds, you know. So I don't know. Fascinating
It's
stuff.
Always fun. I love to keep on digging and figure out what we can find out and stay open-minded to everything.
The sheep are waking up, you know. The sheep are gonna pretty soon not gonna want to have shepherds anymore.
Totally. And the sheep become the shepherds. Pick their own
yeah. Exactly. It's like, you know, we've been flocked enough and ruled and pushed around enough. Now we just want our freedom to like roam the sheep.
Totally. Well, awesome.
Anyway.
So this was a great first show of 2019. I can't believe 2019. It doesn't even sound right, does it?
I know. Wait till it's 2020 because that just sounds and feels so powerful. It's 2020. You know, it's like, wow. I remember being in 1960. Well, I was born in 61 and maybe around 1971 going, what will I be doing in the year 2000? Oh my God, I'll be so old.
Remember the show 2020? That's not around anymore, is it?
Yes, I do remember the show. And you know what the show 2020 did? It was it dug up everything and said, here's the reality. Here's like reality. It doesn't have to be negative, but this is your world that you're not seeing. Now do something about it.
Maybe they'll bring that show back in 2020, huh?
Oh, they should. But then I won't watch it if it's MSM because they'll just like lie about everything. Maybe we should bring back 2020. Maybe we should do a show and change the power of 8 on the first week of January to 2020. I don't know.
That would be cool. We'd be good. We'd be set for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, we'd be set for 12 months.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap this one up. I appreciate you coming on again, Eileen. You sound great. I'm so glad you got the mic. And that is, she's all taken care of.
Thank you, Shane.
Can't complain about that.
Yep, and next week I'm going to have some Wi-Fi in the house.
So you'll be clear visually and audibly. So that's awesome.
Absolutely.
We love you guys in the chat, and what do we have? I've got Candace Craw Goldman Monday. Of course, Michelle will be back for the first time this year on Tuesday. And I'm going to have Gosha from Cosmic Agency, the one we were just talking about. She's going to be on Wednesday. And so, yeah, a lot going on. Check the website, uotf.net. That's on the screen to get up to date on the schedule. And when you look at the schedule on that website, it gives you the time in your time. So you don't have to convert it. Whatever time it says is the time that your computer set. I believe it goes off of your computer or something. But anyway, you're all set. Yeah. So,
awesome.
All right. Lots of love and light to everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Bye, everybody. Love. Peace.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.